Hi everyone, welcome back to Nails by Sora. I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to be doing something a little different. I had a request from one of my viewers, Valerie. Shout out to Valerie, Nails by Valerie. I hope you, Pretty Nails by Valerie, Pretty Nails Valerie. Let me take a moment to check and get her name right. It is Pretty Nails by Valerie. Hi Valerie, how are you doing? She requested that I do a comparison of different clear powders, specifically acrylic powders. I think it was from, I did a nail haul and swatch party with Daily Charm and V Beauty Pure, and I mentioned getting a new, or needing to get a new clear acrylic powder. So I picked up V Beauty Pure. I've used Young Nails in the past and I've used Not Polish, but I figured to do a real comparison and contrast I'd need at least 4 brands. So I picked up Clear from Mia Secret, which I have used Mia Secret before. I have used their Clear, but it was when I first started using acrylic, so I can't really use that as a basis of comparison because I was new at application and whether or not I liked it, which at the moment I don't remember. It may have been because I wasn't using it properly. So I'm going to do 2 different methods of swatching, or 2 rounds of swatching. I'm going to swatch them by themselves, and then I'm going to put down a layer of color and I will swatch over it to see how well the color shows through. I will say that I have had some issues with Not Polish. Again, it could just be my application that it seems to get bubbles, or there seems to be some sort of cloudiness of the product on top of the color. And so I'm going to, compare and contrast that with the other brands that I have here today. So these are brand new. I just received them in the mail today. Gotta love Amazon. I just ordered them yesterday, and we're going to get right on into it. So before I actually get into the swatching, I want to look at them side by side. I'm going to cover up my monomer so I'm not smelling it while I'm not using it. Ignore the little bit of dried acrylic on the inside of my Not Polished jar. So looking at them side by side, they're all pretty much the same. V Beauty Pure, you can see it shifting kind of like snow. It's very fine. Young Nail seems to be a bit thicker of a consistency. It does shift. It does have a hair in it, which is interesting considering it's freshly opened. It does shift, but not quite as easily as V Beauty Pure. Not Polish is kind of similar, although it doesn't seem to be as pure white as V Beauty Pure. This one has a bit of a yellowish cast. This is a bluish cast. This one's a little bit more neutral. And then Mia Secrets, likewise, is a bit more closer in tone to Young Nails. Now, of course, they should be 100% clear with no yellowing or blue cast on the nail once they are dried, so we will see that. But right now, they all 4 seem to have pretty similar consistency in terms of how fine the powder is. Though, as I said, the V Beauty Pure and Not Polished seem to be a little bit even more fine than the others. So I'm going to, where is the cap for V Beauty for Mia? So I'm going to keep them all in line so that I know which ones I'm swatching on which sticks, and I've already gone ahead and labeled them. So we're gonna start from, I will mention the prices later. I don't know offhand what I spent. I bought V Beauty Pure in the store near me. I didn't buy it online, so those prices will vary. I got Young Nails on Amazon as well as Mia. And Not Polish I got from, I believe I got it in the same store as V Beauty Pure, but I will list the prices as they are on their individual websites. So we've got Young Nails, which will be third. We've got Not Polish, which will be second. Mia will be first, and V Beauty Pure will be fourth. I'm going to swatch the underside as I usually do, just because it's easier for the swatch sticks. Although when I go ahead and swatch it with the color, I will do it on the top. So the product is picking up really easily. I'm not having any problems with it sticking to the brush. I am doing relatively wet beads. So in terms of runniness right now, I can't really tell you because it is on the underside, as I said. But seems to be working quite well. And already the first layer is drying up, which is really good. Just going to fill out the top where the cuticle would be, and then I'm going to move on to the next brand. Easy, tiger, easy, let your head down. Okay, moving on to Not Polish. Similar consistency to Mia. Not noticing really any difference. The monomer is soaking up the acrylic quite nicely. Whatever problems I have with the acrylic powder could also be issues with the monomer. The monomer I'm using right now is Young Nails, if I remember correctly. The monomer we use in school is an Italian brand named Cuccio. So it could be just the brands not working well together. I'm gonna go ahead and let that dry. Moving on to Young Nails. Same consistency, no issues with it spreading. The acrylic powder, you can see, is absorbing the monomer quite nicely. And moving on to V Beauty Pure, our last brand that we are swatching. I'm just checking because I know I have a bubble over here. I keep forgetting which side it's on. So I just want to even it out. All right, I'm gonna let those set up and then we're gonna come back and check and see the clarity on those. Then I'm gonna go in and swatch with a color and swatch the clear over that. So I'm going ahead and I'm swatching the color. I'm using this beautiful orange from Not Polish. It is called Strangers. It's got an iridescent chunky glitter and some fine iridescent orange glitter. And then the background color is, of course, orange. Went with something a little bit different than what I've been working with this season, just to switch it up a bit. And I'm just applying a basic thin layer. No need to try to build up an apex or anything because this is just for sample purposes. A little bit more on the end, and then we will be ready to move on to analyzing our clear swatch sticks before going in and putting on an encapsulation layer. So I'm very excited. Today was my last day of school before winter break. And then when I get back, I have 3 short weeks until I graduate. I can't believe I'm at the end already. So exciting. I went and got a pedicure today, and I'm like analyzing everything that they do, looking at the salon itself, trying to figure out if it's someplace that I would like to work. It is a predominantly Korean salon, I believe. So I did see one person there that was not Korean, but that's really not that important so long as they're willing to hire me and give me work. So we'll see what else is out there, and what kind of salon I can get into in terms of the level of work I can do in the arts, whether it's basic manicures and the like, or if I can do stuff like this and really play around. But that's for another day. We're going to turn this over and have a clean area to clean our brush. And now we're going to look at our swatches. All right, so off the bat, I do have some bubbles on all the swatches, so that's definitely an application issue versus an acrylic issue. Let's look at clarity. See, this is what I was talking about with not polish. I don't know if you can see it. The cloudiness, it almost looks like frozen ice underneath the surface, where this is more clear. This you can definitely see the acrylic as if the bead wasn't 100% dry, or rather wasn't 100% wet, which we know it was because we could see that the monomer had seeped all the way through. But it did dry with bubbling and some crystallization, or what gives the appearance of crystallization. So we're going to set this one aside, and we're going to look at these two together, since Mia seems to be the clearer one of the two. And then of these two, you can see the crystallization around the edges versus it's clear in the center. With Young Nails, it is 100% clear all the way around, at least in comparison with these two. And when you compare Young Nails and not polish, the difference is even more striking with the clarity. But we'll be able to see more once we put it to the test with the encapsulation. So taking Young Nails as the outlier right now with the level of clarity, we're going to go up with the Beauty Pure. And the Beauty Pure, you can see around the tip, it has that, and even when I put my hand behind it, all throughout, it has some crystal, I'm going to call it crystallization, even though I'm sure that's not the technical word for it. It's not 100% clear. So that being said, Young Nails is the winner with all 4 whites, clears, as being 100% clear, at least when it comes to the clear swatches. So I'm going to set this aside, and we are now going to encapsulate with our clears. So I'm going to go in the same order, not polish being last, Young Nails third, Be Beauty Pure last, Mia first, not polish Young Nails. Let us put away our acrylic powder. I want to make sure it soaks up all the powder. I'm going to go right in. Well, that was a bit of a thick bead. Okay, I'm going to make sure it's not quite as dry so that it'll spread a little bit more.
So blessed to
So we'll just ignore the top of that. I may go in and file it down, but we'll see. Moving on to nail polish.
Come closer, let me see all your million faces and all your million mistakes. You don't need to hide. Come closer so that we can be together. Everything that has been don't matter no more. We've burned it. All those whirlwinds.
All right, so here we go. Let's take a look and see what we've got. So Mia's Secret, as we know, I went a little heavy-handed on the top portion of the swatch, so it's a little bit difficult to get a true comparison. But you can see, even going down to the free edge of the nail, that it's a bit more cloudy, I would say. You can't really see the depth of color. It's kind of murky. It has this overall cast to it. Next to the nail polish, you really see the punch of the orange with some of the blue flecks. When you shift it in the light, you see the pink pop up and a little bit of green. So you really get more of a depth of quality from the clear of nail polish. When you bring in young nails, the difference is even more striking. You can see even more clarity. You really don't see anything blocking the color or the sheen. The glitter really pops. And when you bring them Mia's Secret and Young Nails right next to each other, there really is no comparison. I should bring it up closer to the camera so that you can actually see what I'm seeing. So we've got Mia's Secret, we've got nail polish, and then we've got Young Nails. So then V Beauty Pure, I would say, is quite on the level of Young Nails. There really is no difference between the two, but you can see a difference between V Beauty Pure and nail polish, and then definitely V Beauty Pure and Mia's Secret. So I would, out of these three, I would not discount any of them, because the difference in clarity between the three of them is really so minimal, and it could even just be the amount of acrylic that I used between the two. I tried to use as thin of a layer as possible. I could have been a little bit more heavier on the nail polish, but I think it really is just a quality issue versus how much I did or didn't use. But there is a definite difference between Mia's Secret and the other three. That's not to say that Mia's Secret is bad. It is definitely budget friendly. If I recall correctly, I think it was $16 or $17, and this is 4 ounces versus probably similar prices for a 45-gram jar or I think this 1.5 ounce. Yeah, 1.5 ounces. So to get almost double the amount of product for the same amount of money as you would spend on the premium brands, it really depends on what you're going for. If you're getting started with acrylic powder and you want to practice and you're doing it on stands and you're really just going to get trying to get the feel of it and find out if it's a medium that you want to work in, there's nothing wrong with Mia's Secret. I have several of their powders and I've never had any problem with using them. They're user friendly. They adhere really well to the nail, and I didn't have any problem with application in terms of picking up too runny of a bead, too firm of a bead. It's really just getting a handle on it and learning how to combine monomer and acrylic powder. It has nothing to do with the quality of the brand. I have used far worse brands, and I'm sure there are better brands even than Young Nails or V Beauty Pure. I'm not sure. I've not been working with it that often, but Mia's Secret is a great budget-friendly product and it works really well. It's just in terms of the clear acrylic powder, the clarity isn't where it's at when compared to the other brands that we used today. So out of these three, when you're dealing with similar sizes and similar prices, I would definitely go with either Young Nails or V Beauty Pure. They are clearly superior, and the consistency is very easy to work with. Young Nails has the speed clear, and it really does dry really quickly without impeding your ability to use it. It doesn't dry so quickly that you can't get it to do what you need it to do on the nail. So that is my 4 cents, because 4 products. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much, Valerie, for suggesting it. If anyone has any more ideas or suggestions for upcoming content, something that you want me to either test or a technique that you want me to play around with, a brand that you want me to try out, please let me know down below in the comment section. If you like this video, please hit that like and definitely subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you always know when new videos are available. Thank you everyone for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.